Well, hello everybody, and I know it's past Mother's Day, or rather 2 days past Mother's Day. I hope everyone has had a wonderful and amazing Mother's Day. Hopefully, you treated your mothers with the love and respect that they deserve. Mine went out yesterday, or rather the day after, or the day before, on Mother's Day. Before I begin, I'm going to close the door because for some reason I can hear that I'm going to get some rude company in about a few minutes. So with that, you're going to hear me close the door. As I'm closing the door, I know what to be expected of this. 2:30. My mother gets up. Usually when she gets up, she always gets, I don't know, worried for some odd apparent reason. Don't know why though, but she always seems to get worried. So anyway, like I said, I hope everybody has enjoyed Mother's Day. Mainly due to the fact that, it's that one day in which mothers should be treated like the queens that they are. Hopefully every day they should be treated like the queens that they are, in my opinion. I mean, that's what I feel. Even though my mom can slightly drive me insane sometimes. Although most times she's not around. So I get to do whatever I want, which is completely nothing. Or just catch up on my writing. I mean, I can tell you a couple of things about my mom. She is a wonderful woman. A little nosy, but she is a wonderful woman. I would never talk bad about her, nor would I ever say anything demeaning about her. Even though most of the stuff that I say are indeed true about after hours. But that's besides the point. The point is that Mother's Day is about treating your mom right. It's the same with Father's Day. You're supposed to treat your father right. Why am I talking about Mother's Day, in which I should have been talking about Mother's Day on the day of Mother's Day? Good question. Of course, there is no good answer to it. That's because I've been busy. And you know why. And you know how. Aside from that, I say this to all the females out there. Every day that you live, you make men feel worth fighting for, worth working for, worth pretty much coming home to each and every night. And to those who think otherwise, you are sorely mistaken. I mean, there are lots of things I could possibly say about Mother's Day, but there's, I don't know, there's so many things I could possibly say, but the words kind of escape me. At this point in time, they are escaping me. No, really. They are really escaping me because, there's nothing like having a mom. Really, I can really say this. There's nothing quite like having a mom, or having a grandmother, or having some female figure around your household. They're often the voice of reason. They often hold the wallet And more than likely, they always like to get their point across, no matter what it is. They love to get their point across. That's what women do. At least most of the women I've ever met always wanted to get their point across. Me, I'm like, okay, you win. I'm not going to complain. I mean that in the most sincere way because from the way I've grown up, the reason I became an LPer is, well, my mother. It's the reason why I play video games now is because of my mother. She taught me how to play Pac-Man. And, of course, she's the only woman who actually ever beat me in a video game. The second would be Sheena. Third, just going in order. First woman to ever beat me was my mom. The second woman to ever beat me was Sheena. And I'm still looking forward to having a go-around with my girlfriend Twinbee. To most of what is going on, I'd say, yeah, women are very supportive creatures. As long as you treat them right, they'll treat you right. But if you treat them bad, oh hell. You have got a ticking time bomb on your hands. And there's no way to make it irreversible. Unless you do a lot of sweet talking and a lot of cheese eating. Because, trust me, if you somehow do anything to break that bond, your ass is pretty much grass. I mean, there are so many things that you can possibly say. But yeah, women are God's greatest creatures on the earth. They become our mothers, our wives, our best friends, our lovers, and possibly, I don't know. There's so many things that women are, and I'm only pointing out the good things that women are. I'm not pointing out the bad things, only the good things. I've seen enough bad out there when I go out on the streets and try to catch a drink. All I see is just mere ugliness and what's left of what could have been a woman. I mean, on my street, all I see are skanks and hookers and, well, winos. And that's like around my block. I mean, all I see are just that. I don't really see women. I just see just that. I only see the opposite of what I can only see the opposite. I don't see anything worth looking at, nothing worth, staring and just taking a sigh and just say, wow. I mean, just by saying that, just by seeing that, you can only imagine. And when I used to work as a teacher, that's all I really saw. I saw women. I saw more women than men show up at the door. And always it was, they see me and I'm doing some paperwork. They say, "Hello, Miss Searcy." I say, "Hi there." And usually that's all it would be. They would say hi to me, and then they carry on a 30 to an hour conversation with my former boss. And I'm like, okay, I know what to do. "Listen, boss, could you give me some paperwork to do?" Just. So if you need me, I'll be I'll be down the hall in the copy room, making copies and usually doing the work there, just to get some brief sigh of relief, because the one thing that women can really do is they can really talk, and when they talk, they can talk. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but that's the one thing that women do. Most times they like to talk. They like to talk to their men, share their day was, and I can tell you this. I'll give you an example of what a day in the life of my mom was back in her day. When my dad was alive, they both worked. They both worked for the city. So the thing is, my mom worked overtime. My dad worked, normal hours, like the 8 to 5 routine. Always pick me up around 2:30, 3 o'clock. We go home. He cooks dinner. As soon as my mom comes home, which would be around 11 or so, no later than midnight, but it'd be 11. She would come home beat. She would want to tell how her day was. She wouldn't get that chance because he just didn't really like he didn't really like hearing about work. I say this, who can blame him? I mean, when you come home from work, you don't really want to talk about how work was. You only want to give just the little bits and pieces of how work was. Like what happened and everything. I mean, some of you know how it is. I mean, me, I'm self-employed, so therefore, my work is ongoing, constant, and therefore, I try to find time whenever I can make time for myself. And that's always a good thing. Bad thing is, the only time that I do get the chance to actually project my voice, share my thoughts, is around this time, around midnight to 6 a.m. in the morning. Because I'm either LPing or I'm either doing something like this. But I mean, that's all it is. I hardly get any comments, but maybe I might get some comments about this. Because really, going back to the base topic, yes. Women are the most amazing creatures in the entire known universe. They also are the most complex creatures in the known universe. Because once you think you've figured them out, you really haven't. I've been through various relationships in my past. And to this day, I could never understand, okay, is it me or did I do something wrong? And I always ask that question, did I do something wrong? I usually get a no. And for the most times, it'd be a bunch of BS. Because, in any relationship, there's bound to be something wrong, and if you're not up to asking what you did, well, that relationship isn't going to last as long as you honestly think. But Mother's Day. No, all I have to say is to anyone who is a mother, at the sound of my voice, who is listening to this, I wish you a very happy Mother's Day. A belated one, but yes, Mother's Day nonetheless. I can't fathom how in the universe we would live this long without having a female figure around. Because women these days are just as important as men. I mean, they're just as equally as good as men. Some things they can do better than men. Some things they can do just as good as men. But, as far as emotions are concerned and everything else, they have that in spades. And to this day, only thing we can do is just support them and love them and do the best they can. So to anyone who still have and had a mother, I mean to this day, or rather any day, I also have to say, Happy Mother's Day. But also, I do not care my year-old. Also, on that note, as I'm saying this now and it's hit me in my head, I also want to wish my late Aunt Lou a very special Mother's Day, as well as Mrs. Frances Barksdale, who also I wish a very happy Mother's Day. Although they are no longer with us, they are still within our hearts. Mothers are worth more than a dime a dozen. They're worth a batch of roses and then some. They're the one who make us. They're the one who teach us, and they're the one who nurtures us. Whereas our fathers, they show us what we need to do, tell us what we have to do, and set the path for us that we need to take. That's all I have to say. So with that, I hope you have enjoyed this message. Godspeed and God bless. The Tenkaichi spoken, and I am out.